We have completed week number 7 of our 12-week no shopping challenge. Surprisingly, the food has gotten better as we've gone on. Hi, we're the Provident Preppers.
Week 7 of our challenge has been a piece of cake. Literally.
We have found our groove and have made delightful meals out of just our storage food and our garden.
Who would have thought that was possible? Check out our meals from this week. Yum!
We've made it through week 7 of our 90-day challenge, and here's our report.
It's actually getting easier than I thought. I thought it would get more and more difficult as time goes on, but it's getting easier. For instance, Ben has learned that a package of pasta and a can of sauce can be made into a delightful snack. For a 13-year-old, it's a snack, not a meal, in just a matter of minutes.
Part of our adventure this week included a refrigerator that needed to go to the junkyard. A couple of weeks ago, it started making weird noises, and since it was 19 years old, we decided it was probably time to replace it.
Which was really hard for John because everything needs to get 100,000 miles.
Oh, at least. At least. Here's one of my favorites. The jalapeno bread that Kylene has been making is really, really good.
I use the natural yeast or sourdough process, and then this just has a can of jalapenos put in it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese for a little bit of a stronger flavor, and it really is delicious, especially toasted. Breakfasts are usually quite simple and tend to be the same thing over and over again, but here we have the oatmeal with raisins and maple syrup, quite the favorite around here. And then some cinnamon toast with eggs and chives from our garden, and then apricot nectar to drink that we put up this last week. I've been experimenting with my bread. We're coming up with all kinds of different flavors and concoctions, and this one was a real winner. I just used apricot nectar in place of part of the liquid in the bread when I mixed it up, and it really is quite delicious.
And it's grape season, so we have been getting lots of good grapes and other things from our gardens and vines.
Before we started our 90-day challenge, we threw a huge party for our son Sam, who had graduated from high school and decided that he was going to go serve a mission for 2 years. We invited all of our friends and family for a farewell lunch to wish him well. And we ended up with a whole bunch of tortilla chips and shredded cheese left over that we put in the freezer. So throughout this challenge, we have still had chips and cheese, which normally we wouldn't have, but has really been a great blessing for us. This is one of our meals. This is a taco salad with rice and beans on it. And you can see it, some of our grapes, and then our homemade bread with some fantastic berry jam that we made this week.
This is one of the evening meals that we had. It was roasted vegetables, carrots and potatoes, and then some green beans, tomatoes, the cucumbers, again some bread and then jam.
The bread tends to be very filling. Sometimes when you're just having the vegetables, it just doesn't seem to satisfy because we have to really ration our meat. But the bread makes all the difference. On Friday, I received a text from a coworker at my last job and invited us over to the barbecue at work. And we were so excited, but I had to throw together something last minute to take. And we decided to quickly throw together John's favorite Mexican salad. It was really fun because we got to go to the garden. We picked all of these colorful peppers and some onions, and it was a big hit at the barbecue. Do you remember last week the ham that we were gifted? I used all of the diced ham in the meal that we prepared for 70 people at the family reunion, but I had placed the fat and the ham hock in the freezer so that I could make a later meal. These black-eyed peas were fantastic, and the meat that's in them is actually the ham hock that we put in when we started to cook the beans. And this recipe for black-eyed peas is in the bean book that we will be releasing in a few months. We served the black-eyed peas with rice and greens, making it a very southern meal. When we were at the end of this meal, one of our dear friends shows up with his pet skunk. And this is hilarious because he comes over by the table and the skunk nearly jumps out of his arms trying to get to these beans. So we made the skunk his nice little own bowl of beans and rice and a piece of cheese. And he was very happy.
This was a good reminder about the importance of not only having food for people, but also having food for our furry friends and pets.
We don't have quite enough cat food to make it through the 90 days. So we have been supplementing the cat food with other things from our kitchen, especially the meat products. When we went through the freezer, we found a couple of fish that had been in there for a long time, and so we cooked it up and fed it to the cats to help to extend that cat food. But that will definitely be one thing we're stocking up on. We needed to make a treat to take for our choir group on Sunday, and we decided that we would make John's favorite crumb bars. The original recipe calls for cherry pie filling, but we had decided to use some of the plum berry jam that we had made earlier this week. They were the best crumb bars ever.
Very
Everybody
tasty.
raved about them. That plum gave it just a little bit of a tart flavor next to the sweet, and they were fantastic. It's amazing what you can come up with when your ingredients are a little bit more limited. Ben and I worked together to make those crumb bars.
Here you can see some of the bounty from our garden. This was for our sharing table at our church. Every Sunday during the harvest season, we encourage people to bring fresh produce from their gardens and their orchards. All of this is put out on the counter so that anybody who is in need or anybody who wants to take any of it can do so. It is a wonderful way to share the wealth and to build community, because that's what we really should be about, is helping each other and loving each other.
And as we build these relationships now and put these processes in place, when disaster strikes, it will just be part of life, and we will all be able to help take care of each other a little bit better.
Here are some wonderful resources we hope that you will look at. The Provident Prepper, Top 10 Prepper Excuses and How to Slay Them. Also, Bug Out or Bug In, How to Know When to Go or Stay. And the 90-Day Challenge, Survive Solely on Food Storage and Garden. These and many other resources are available to you on our YouTube channel and also on our website, theprovidentprepper.org. We hope that you'll take a look.
As you can see, our parents have been spending a lot more time in the kitchen, and we get to reap the rewards.
I like the berry jam,
The beans are getting better and better. I like the cinnamon bread.
and I helped make the crumb bars.
And now for the question of the day. Our friend's pet skunk, Cherry Blossom, is really fun. It is important to prepare ahead for your pets so that they have enough food. Do you have enough food stored for your pets? Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.